Show you some more of the Web Academy. I've started Burp, turned off the intercept, and opened the Burp browser to work in. The next thing I like to do is clear the history, but I guess I'll create more junk traffic first. So now that I've logged in to the Academy, I'm going to SQL injection, and I'm going to try this one, SQL injection attack listing the database contents on non-Oracle databases, which are the more common ones. So that's here. And as usual, I want to launch the lab in a new tab and early. So while I read this, it's launching because it takes about 30 seconds to spin up the lab. So we have a SQL injection vulnerability in the product category filter. All right. And we can use a union attack to retrieve data from other tables. All right. We're trying to log in as the administrator user. And as usual, I'm going to use the solution here. There's the point union select a couple of these things. So first we're going to determine the columns. So let's see if this is ready, and it is. So we want to attack the product category filter. So now I want to remove all the traffic in the proxy. All this boring stuff has happened in history, and it's not the stuff I care about, so I'm going to delete this, clear history. And now I'm going to implement a category filter, which is here, like gifts. So now I see the gifts, and here I can see the one request that is the one I want to use. So I'm going to send that to the repeater. And here I've got gifts, and if I want to know if it has an injection vulnerability, the simplest thing is just put an apostrophe in there and run it. And now I get, I might even get a SQL error, but it looks like, oh, I'm getting internal server error. That's kind of what I was looking for. That's usually what you'll get. I've created an error. So that shows I've got a vulnerability here. So now I could try union select null and then say dash dash to start a comment. Let's see what that does. And that's still internal server error, but if I put comma null again, now it's showing me things. It's not an error anymore. It shows me a gift with this name. So it accepted it. So 2 columns didn't create an error. 1 did. 3 should create an error again. Yep. Okay, so now I know there are 2 columns of data returned by this query. Now I'd like to know which ones of them are alphabetical. So here I'll put an A. And if I render this, it might be easier to see what the result is. Now, I expected to see the A appear somewhere, but I didn't really. But it didn't crash. So let's try putting something here, putting something bigger like XXXXX. Maybe I'll be able to see that if it comes back somewhere. And I'm still not seeing a result that includes the data I sent in, which is a little annoying, but let's see. If I go to raw and I search for, say, XXX, it found, so it is in there. It's at the top here, and it's in there 4 times. And so there it is, gifts. It should be visible as the header. And somewhere down here, below this, it does come back. Here's the A and here's the XXX. So the things I asked for, they do appear here. I don't seem to be able to see them right in the visible page, but they are there in the source code, so I can pump data out and find it. So now I want to pump out the administrator's password. Let's just go back and see how they did it. So now they should select table name from information schema tables. Okay, that makes sense. Let's try that. All right, so I'm going to select table name. I think it's table underscore name. It is, from information schema tables. right, if I spell everything right, information schema tables, it should add it, and I'll see it where I saw that A before. So I send this, and now I get a server error, so that's rude. Oh, select table name from information schema tables. Table name, probably comma, maybe comma column name. Now let's see how they did it. Select table name from information schema tables dash dash. Oh, a null. Table name comma null. Okay, because I have to fill up the second column. So I could just do that with null, or I could do it with A. There, that should do it. And then I get rid of this stuff. There, might be okay now. And it didn't crash. Oh, and here we are. Now I can see it. So here come table names: collations, sec labels, PG rules, PG index. I was hoping to find something that would contain passwords. Let's see if looking at the raw HTML lets me see more of the tables. Okay, collations, sec labels, transform, implementation info, rules, BG writer, stat activity, PG index, DB role settings, enabled roles, prepared statements. Okay, there's a lot of things here, but none of them were obviously going to contain usernames and passwords, so I could hunt through them, but I'm just going to cheat and look here. Find the name of the table containing user credentials. And they thought I'd be able to see this. Here's how they did it. Or a table name. Okay, users. There is supposed to be one called users. Oh, all right. Let's try that. There's something called users in here. There it is. Okay, it has a different name every time. So there it is, users. Okay. Now I want the name of the fields there. So it's going to be select column name from information schema column name from information schema dot columns, where table name. Okay, information schema dot columns, where table name, name, lowercase, I don't think case matters, but looks better, equals that name there. This might do it. Column name A from the information schema columns just should tell me the columns in the username table if I haven't made a mistake, and I often make mistakes typing in these long, messy things. But looks okay. Somewhere down here I should see column names there. Email is a column name. And here's password and username. And the password and username also have added extra characters to make it a little bit confusing. So let me take some notes here. All right, here's the table name, users. Here's the password name. Here's the username field name. Okay, so now I want to select the username and the password. There. From the name of the table is this thing, users. And I think that's it. Select username, password from the table users. Have an extra apostrophe to get rid of up there. There. No, I need the apostrophe there. Okay, that might work if I haven't fouled it up. Might be able to see them in the render. No, it's server error. Okay, I fouled. Oh, you need to select username, password from users magic. All right, let's see what the instructions say. What have I done wrong? Okay, so I select username, comma, plus password from users. Oh, I don't put apostrophes around the table name. Okay, that's what I wondered. I was not sure about that. Let's get rid of the apostrophes then and try that. Now I get usernames and passwords. There's administrator and password. So I think I've got it. The username is administrator, and that ridiculous mess is the password. It won't let me copy from here, but I should be able to find it in the source code. There. Here's Wiener, and here's administrator, and there's that password. So I'll copy that. I should be able to log in with that. So administrator, and that password. And now I'm in. Okay, so I went. So that's what I wanted to show you. That's one of these SQL injection attacks. And there are others just in the same spirit. Let's see if there's another one worth doing. Determining the number of columns. That's what we were just talking about. So let's try that one. Let me clear these other ones out. Start the lab. All right, in the product category filter, you want to determine the number of columns. So this is like a small part of the one we did before. Seems to just be repeating it. Let's see how it looks. Okay, here's the product category filter. So once again, I want to clear off the old stuff out of here. Clear history out of the... All right, now open gifts. Okay, there's the request that has the category. So I send that to the repeater. And in here, I'll do apostrophe union select null from, and null, I think just dash dash. I think that might do it. Let's see what happens when I send that. I get an internal server error, so I fouled it up. Union select null. That's all right, I may just need two of them. Let's put comma null. And I get a server error, and comma null. And now it's okay. So I've found out how many columns there are. There are 3 columns. And I think that's all I have to do. Yep, I won. So this one is just a small part of the previous one. All right. Well, I think that's enough. I'm going to stop this recording.